Today, we are going to do, Jason, unless you have something else on the agenda, we are going to do a role play today.
Okay.
Okay? I want to see that we are implementing the things that we have learned. All right? So I need one person first to volunteer as agent.
Want to make more money?
I'll
I can
try.
be.
Oh, okay.
Awesome.
Okay, Ken, go ahead.
Oh,
Thank you,
okay.
Ken.
Mm,
Okay, Ken. I am going to be your client.
mm,
Okay?
yeah.
Now, the rest of you, you should be listening in order to give feedback at the end. I want you to be able in detail to tell Ken, this is great, best practice, excellent, do it that way every time. Or to say this area is how it should have been changed. We should have tried this instead. Does that make sense? Oh, and we got Jeffrey joining us as well. I'll just repeat instructions for Jeffrey very fast. Hi there, Jeffrey.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good, good.
Good. So we're about to start our role play. Ken is going to be the agent. I'm going to be the client. And in this role play, you are going to be listening in order to give feedback. You're going to say what went well or what could be improved, but it needs to be detailed. Okay?
Got it.
All right. Now, even though we all have our cameras on for this role play, we're going to turn our cameras off. Just like a real call, we're not reading each other's expression, okay? Ken, this is your first time reaching out to me. I am a lead that is in your pond. You are talking to me for the very first time. Your goal is to collect criteria, motivation, timeline, and set the appointment if it makes sense to do so, okay?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Ring, ring. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Ready? Okay.
Good. Yep. Mhm.
Ring, 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 ring.
Hello?
Hello, Mr. Nikki, please.
Speaking.
Oh, hi, Nikki. My name is Ken. I'm calling you from Remax Partner. And the reason why I'm calling today is that I see you doing some home search in the, Markham, Toronto area. Please tell me more about the house that you're looking for.
I'm sorry, who are you with?
I'm with Remax Partner and in the Toronto area.
How did
I
you
see
get my
that you've done.
information?
Oh, you must be looking on our company website, scrolling through some of the house listing,
Oh, no, I
and
don't.
you enter the information in our system here that register for more information for the property
I
about
mean, I've
pricing.
been looking at properties, but I don't remember looking at any website like that.
No problem. It must be that when you scroll through, when you sign up, that you went through our system here it went into our system. Must be it. And are you looking for something personal usage or investment?
Um, for personal use.
Oh, perfect. That is great. Are you living in the area right now?
I am. I actually was expecting another call. Is there any chance that you might be able to call me later?
Okay, that's we can definitely do that. Now, is it because you're ready to make sorry, when are you want to give you a call back?
Oh, sure. You could call me tomorrow would be great.
Okay, not a problem. Now, I can definitely call you tomorrow. And what's the best time? Like, do you prefer the morning, afternoon, or evening?
Whenever is fine. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Thank you, Nikki.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye. Mm.
All right, Ken, since you were agent, let's have everybody's cameras back on, please. Ken, since you were agent, you'll give yourself any feedback. We will open it up to the room.
Mm,
I'll give closing commentary and then we'll do another role play. Ken, go ahead.
I could be more familiar with some of the scripts, I believe.
Mhm.
What I'm gonna say is that I could have been more certain. I should have asked more questions as in why are you, searching, trying to dig deep more regarding the motive. But yeah, so mhm.
Okay. Anybody else? Feedback for Ken? Thank you, sir.
When the client, they are concerned where you get the information. Okay, so we want to learn how to handle better.
Mm-hmm. So here's what I recommend, Ken. You insisted that I signed up on the company website and you said how, right? I don't
Mm,
want you to say that. If somebody says, how
mm,
did you get my information? The first time I want each of you to say, oh, I'm the one sending you listings. I'm double checking to see, are you still looking? That's our first thing. Okay. Notice we haven't answered. But if somebody really, and for most people that works, but if somebody really presses you, then the most you'll say is, nowadays, everything online asks you to register. I'm sure that's how we crossed paths. But notice I haven't said what website. All right. Because the more that you provide, the more somebody can disagree. You said company website. I said, no, I don't think so. And you said, yes, when you signed up. Well, now we're fighting. We're actually
mm,
fighting early in a call. Right. And we
mm,
want to avoid any disagreements because just like you said, Ken, you want to get to the best stuff. So that is how we handle that objection.
mm.
Okay. What other feedback do we have, y'all?
Which is very normal when we call the online lead, they're not available, and how we can keep get more information before they hang up.
Yeah.
Maybe like before I let you go, ask why, what makes you want to look to begin with. So then you can start digging deeper, and they can kind of tell you why they started looking to begin with.
Mhm,
Agreed. That's exactly what I want for y'all. Remember, this person says that, oh, well, I can't talk and I'm, XYZ, but they picked up the phone. So until they hang up on us, we basically can keep talking, right?
mm,
And y'all know, guys, sometimes they're just lying to you. They just don't want to talk to you, right? They just are like, oh, this isn't somebody that I know. And since it's somebody I don't know, I don't want to have the conversation. So we say, absolutely, before I let you go and you ask another question. You're going to keep asking questions until they bring it up a second time. I really have to go. Okay?
mm.
All right. Any other feedback? All good? Thoughts? Questions? All right. Last note, Ken. In
Mm,
your introduction, you said, is this Nikki? I want you to assume that it is and say,
mm,
hey, Nikki, this is Ken. Because we only ask, is this so and so on a sales call? If you and I are friends, Ken, and you call me, you'd say, hey, Nikki, right? You would know
mm,
for sure. But you would never say, hi, is this Nikki when you're familiar? So we're trying to give them a familiar sense. So don't
mm,
ask, is this Nikki? Just say, hey, Nikki, this is Ken.
mm.
All right?
Should we call their name on the online lead registration? Because sometimes they're using the different name, or if we call them Mary, but her name is not Mary, they just maybe hang up. So what is the best way to do it?
So that's going to happen way less often. I'll be honest. Most people are putting their real name. But if they say, this isn't Mary, I say, oh my gosh, I don't want to call you by the wrong name. Tell me, what should I refer to you as? Or I say, that's so funny. On my end, I had Mary. Lord only knows how I got there. Tell me, what is your name? But we just immediately ask for what the right name is. But that's going to be way less often. Okay?
So let's say the online lead, we see they have a lot of search history. So they're actively searching, but the name is XYZ. So in this way, when we call them, what is the best way to start the conversations? Let's say I know they're very active searching the information. There's an actual person, but they register XYZ as the seller name, a buyer name.
Mhm. A lot of those leads have their name in the email, y'all. I do want you to look at their email and see. Does it say Tiffany da 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 at blank? Because I'm going to rewrite XYZ to be Tiffany because that's what's on the email. That's their first strategy. The second strategy is if you don't have it even in the email, then I would have you just say this. I would say, hey, it's Ken out here in Myrtle Beach. I'm the one who's been sending you listings. We just go right into it. Hey, it's Ken, and you start on you without saying the name. I'm the one
Mm.
who's sending you listings if you don't have a name. All right?
Okay, good.
And then
Mm.
later in the conversation, just say, okay, and tell me, I don't want to misspell your name. How do I spell your name? That's how we ask when we've gotten later. I say, I don't want to misspell your name. How do I spell your name?
Okay,
Later in the conversation. Okay,
good.
good.
Mm.
All right, let's do another role play. Janice, I know that you had your hand up. Are you ready?
Mhm.
Cool. All right, y'all. Everybody, cameras off.
Mm.
And Janice, whenever you're ready, just say ring, ring.
Ring ring.
Hello.
Hey Nikki, this is Janice from the Jason U team. How are you?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
Good, good, good. Hey, I've been the one sending you listings in the area, in the Markham area. Just wanted to ask, are you looking to purchase a home in the Markham area?
Um, I have been looking, but I'm certainly not in any sort of rush.
Oh, I see. So you've been looking in the Markham area. Tell me, what type of home have you been looking for?
Um, you know, certainly 4 bedroom. And I'd really prefer to have something that is 2 stories if possible. I have kids, so I'd like for them to have their own space upstairs, if at all
Yeah,
possible. Yeah.
amazing, amazing. And you mentioned you've lived here for a while. Are you living in a townhouse, a semi, looking to upgrade into a bigger home?
Yes, so we are currently in a little townhouse, but it's not going to be sustainable long term, so we just really want to get it right for the next one.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And we do help a lot of clients within in this market to do that move. And how long have you been living in the townhouse?
We've been here about 6 or 7 years now. Time flies.
Yeah, amazing. You've been there for a while and you saw, the market increase. And now it's a great timing to actually move into a bigger home as your kids get older.
Yep, but like I said, we're not in any sort of rush, so I'd hate to waste your time.
No worries. And let's say I find you the perfect home. Would you consider, price is perfect, the home is perfect, everything's perfect. Would you consider making a move this year?
Yeah, if it was perfect, sure.
Yeah, so let's say we find you the best house you would consider moving this year, correct?
I mean, it's possible. Anything's possible.
Mm-hmm. And do you need to sell the first home you're living in before you buy?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So you need to sell before you buy the next house.
Yes, I believe so.
Mm-hmm. And how old are your children, Nikki?
Yes, so I have 3 kids, and 6 and 2 9-year-olds. So we'll all be moving together.
Mm-hmm. And is there a specific school zone you're looking at to move to?
Yes, actually, we'd really like to get towards like an Islamic school. Something that's top rated.
Mm-hmm.
Which I've been doing a little research myself, but I bet that you probably know more about what to recommend.
Yeah, yeah. So there's a great school zone in the area you've been looking at in the Bercy area. Top rated school, very, very, very good, well-known area. And it's great for people looking to start, move into that area for kids to grow and have a good education there. And for you, what type of budget are you looking at? So what's the maximum price you're looking at to purchase?
Oh, I'd really have to consult with my husband to make sure that I know for sure. Um, so we could skip it for now.
Yeah, no worries. But it does sound like we should get together so we can get, understand your situation and get a better understanding of you and your husband, where you guys are at. We can meet with my team leader, Jason Yu, and he's been in the industry for a while, so we can get together and go through the process with you smoothly. Is that something you would be interested in?
Oh, I'm not ready to meet with anybody just yet.
Okay, no worries. Just a quick question also. Have you talked to any like mortgage pre-approvals regarding purchasing a home?
No, we haven't. Yeah, it just seems early.
So you're in the beginning stages, still looking around to see what's happening.
For sure.
Okay, sure, no problem. So let's do this, Nikki. We can stay in touch. I'll continue sending homes in the area. And if anything catches your eyes, feel free to let me know. We can definitely take you to see the units. And yeah, we can talk. If you need any mortgage people to talk to, let me know. We can definitely follow up and go from there. How's that?
Very well.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. So, Janice, since you were agent, you'll give feedback first. We'll open it up to the room and I'll give closing commentary. Go ahead.
I think I should have asked like more in order versus I skipped through a lot of questions and then went back to like the pre-approval and I should have um went more in order through the process of asking.
Just so you know, Janice, I like that you asked the pre-approval question at the end because that's least scary. Sometimes if you ask that too early, people are like, ugh. So I think it's good that pre-approval was the last thing that you talked about. Okay? What else, y'all? What other feedback do we have? Oh, Jason, sorry, you're muted. We can't hear you, friend. I saw you talking. Sorry.
I think she have a good listening skills. She really listening, so she can follow the right questions. She is listening 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed with that. Yes, and you had affirmations, Janice, which I liked, which that's a subtle difference. Very nice. What other feedback do we have? Anybody?
I liked it and all, but I think one of them is like the time frame. Instead of saying like in the next year, like as I remember, is like we should say in the next 3 months.
Here is how I want y'all to do the timeline section. And Janice, I will tell you, you're already doing so well. So these subtle things will make a very big difference. But I want you to ask these 3 timeline questions. Okay, I know you mentioned you aren't in any rush, but if everything goes according to plan, when would you be moved into this next home by? So you repeat their objection. So now they can't say it again. Okay, I know you mentioned you aren't in any rush. So if everything goes according to plan, when would you be moved into this next home by? The second question is to say, may I ask, is there anything specific that has you waiting? Or may I ask what has you waiting? And then your third question is to say, devil's advocate, let's say that we find, and Janice, I don't want you to say perfect home because we don't know if this person can afford perfect. It's the same thing with the district. When you voice what the best one is, what happens if I can't afford to get there? So instead of perfect, say we find the place you want to call home. That's safe, right? That's no expectation. Let's say we find the place you want to call home, right? And instead it shows up in, and that's where we say 3 months. Right? Instead, it shows up in 3 months, which allows you to get your kids in the school district that you want to get them into. All right. Would you want to make a move on that, or would you say 100% that's too soon? And even stronger, Janice, for all of you, if somebody is talking about school, summer is just around the corner, which means I can tell you what happens if we're in where you want to be before the school year starts. That's an even stronger motivation to build their timeline. So with that active listening, that is you saying, actually, I hear your situation and this timeline makes sense for you. All right. Okay. So those are the 3 questions I'd encourage y'all to ask on that. What other feedback do we have? Tiffany, are you sharing with us, friend? Sorry, can't hear you.
Would you be able to explain like when we ask questions like upswing and downswing, when's appropriate?
So I always want y'all to downswing in your questions. Okay, every question. I'd say, all right, what sort of price range are you looking at? Okay, and of all the reasons for you to make a move, what is it that has you looking in the first place? I would always, always, always have y'all downswing at the end of a question. It's okay if y'all upswing in other parts of the sentence, just not at the end, because the end is that professional thing. So instead of would you be okay with that, we say, would you be open to that? We go down. Would you be open to meeting with the expert Jason and myself? Right? But always practicing going down when we say those things. All right?
So Tiffany, why is so important have a downswing in at the end? Why do you think a downswing is so important?
So
So
you're,
go ahead.
are you asking me or Nikki?
Doesn't matter. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
Why?
my guess, my guess is like you sound less unsure. You sound more certain when you're asking a question when you downswing.
Yes, I always use the example, Tiffany, if you and I are friends and I tell you that I'm going on vacation, I tell you I'm going to da 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 and I can't wait. And you say, I've always wanted to go, Nikki. I want to go. And I say, sure. That means I had no plans of inviting you, right? That's me being dishonest. You've caught me in a lie. Okay, right? But if I meant it and you're my friend, and you say, I want to go, I say, oh, Tiffany, you have to go. We naturally go down when we're being honest. I'm having a party. You asked to come. Okay, that's a lie. We lie when we go up. We tell the truth when we go down. That's why it's so important, because people know that subconsciously. That's why it's important that we do downswings, because it says, I mean it. I'm a truth teller. I'm professional. I'm experienced. That's why it's so important. All right? Okay. Good question. Any other feedback? These are the last notes that I have for you. Ready? So I want y'all to know this scenario ChatGPT created for your area, okay? I did not come up with it myself. Now, knowing that, here's what I want to tell you. There are more things that were not revealed. So what that tells me, Janice, is we needed more depth, okay? You found out that I have kids. I also have my spouse's older mother, elderly mother, is going to be moving in with us, but we didn't get there yet. Okay, so what I want you to start thinking, Janice, is no assumptions. What could I be missing, and ask deeper. So I say 3 kids are moving with me and say, is there anybody else making this move with you? Right? Because some of those things people don't automatically volunteer. Additionally, when I said that I wanted that Islamic school, right? Instead of you saying what the best thing or best area is, say, I'd be happy to send you resources so you can decide what the best XYZ is. That way, you're not on the hook of you said it was the best and now we have to go for second best or third best. That's your safest out to that, okay? Here's the next note that I have for you. As we got further on in the end and I said no to the appointment, okay? If I say no, I don't want you to accept me as that, Janice, because I could be moving sooner. So instead, where you said, okay, well, when can I call again? I want you to just go deeper in the conversation. I want you to go back to criteria, go back into motivation, go back into timeline, and just dig deeper and deeper again. Because no matter what, Janice, I want you to ask a minimum of twice. Then once you've asked more questions, listen, because you're already doing so good at that. Once you hear what's like sticky, say, see, this is exactly why we should meet, and ask for the appointment again. Because I'm a buy-sell lead. That's 2 transactions. I don't want you to miss out on that, okay? I want you to be like, no, if she says no right now, it's because I haven't dug deep enough, and go back into question asking, then go into your appointment, all right? Okay. If they say no the second time, all right, we let them go. But plenty of people will say yes the second time, all right? We just asked a little early on this round. That is all that I have for us.
Yay. Thank you.
Thank y'all. Janice and Ken,
Thank you.
volunteering and being in the hot seat, all right? That already puts y'all in such a good place for using y'all's time wisely to continue learning and growing. And Jeffrey and Tiffany and Hussein, anything that you heard that you can apply makes a difference, okay? I appreciate all of y'all's time. Bye,
Okay,
everybody.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Friday.
Bye-bye.